There he is, Aljamain. I am sorry for leaving him out of today's show. Aljo, do you accept my apology?
I accept your apology, Ariel. I was wondering if I needed to be a Welshman to get on the show.
No, that is not true. That is, I knew you had a very busy day. You were on the Anik and Florian podcast. I mean, I didn't know if you can squeeze us in.
Racist.
Wow, this is amazing. First we had Weidman on, and you were interrupting, and now was that Weidman or was that Longo?
That was Weidman.
That was Weidman.
The one, you know.
Are you using the same phone as Weidman? Because this connection is amazing.
Well, it's actually my laptop, but thank you.
Okay. Okay, most important, right off the bat, what's up with the hair? We changed the hair. What happened? Not to say that I don't like it, but why did we change the hair?
Come on, Ariel. I thought you knew.
No, I didn't know.
Forever.
Oh, okay. My bad. My bad.
Never freeze.
Okay, so this is in honor of Black Panther.
Oh, 100%. Did you watch the movie? It's a great movie.
I have not seen it. I mean, I know Wakanda Forever. I know with the movement, Michael B. Jordan, all that stuff, but I have not seen it. I have 3 kids. It's hard to get to the movies.
But then you don't know the line I just said. I never freeze.
No, I don't know that line.
Matt Serra, right before we walked out to the fight, he said, remember, you know, going out to war, he said, remember, you never freeze. I was like, what are you talking about? I never freeze.
Was that an actual concern, or was that, I'm sorry, I'm not up with the kids, you know, the lingo these days. But was that an actual concern coming off? Of course, we know what happened in your last fight against Marlon. Was that a concern that you would be tentative? This has happened in the sport, as you know.
I don't think so. Not for me, at least. But, I mean, I think for them, maybe they had a couple of concerns, like, and maybe in the back of their mind that they didn't really want to project onto me. But I think I handled the pressure pretty well. You know, I had a lot riding in this fight in terms of momentum going downwards. And Brett was on the opposite end of the spectrum. He was the young up-and-coming guy and getting a really good push. I even think, man, he was even getting a bigger push from some of the commentators. I felt like I knew him and Paul had a little bit of like a friendship and a bond there. I even felt a little weird when we were doing our pre-fight interview. I felt like he was kind of giving me like, I felt he was kind of like, I don't know, man. It was kind of like a cold shoulder kind of, it was weird, man. But I made sure I went over there afterwards and let them know, like, yeah, I told you so.
Oh, really?
It wasn't just me trying to just talk myself up and talk myself into believing some shit. It was, I felt like they kind of doubted me, man. And, whatever. That's how this sport goes. You can't make everybody believe in you. You got to believe in yourself.
Yeah, I believe they share the same manager. So, you know, they're all part of the same management umbrella. So maybe
that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense now.
But so as far as you're concerned, though, your first fight back after something like that, after experiencing something like that, early on, did you feel tentative? Did you feel like you were thinking about, you know, what happened the last time, or was it firmly behind you?
No, it was behind me. Once it got in there, I knew it was go time. I just had to try to get a gauge of his rhythm, gauge his speed a little bit, trying to see what he was looking to do. I think those first few minutes of the first round always dictate how the rest of the fight's usually going to go. At least for me, I have a pretty good handle on controlling the tempo of the fight. And if I want to up the tempo, I can up the tempo. If I want to dictate the pace and make it a little bit slower, I can make it a little bit slower. But it really just depends on what type of energy my opponent is bringing to the table. And Brett was trying to strike with me. I knew eventually he was going to try to take the fight to the ground. And he presented himself by jamming in too close, where I was able to lock him up and take him down. Well, he actually reversed my takedown and took me down first, and I swept him and ended up in his guard. I was really pissed about that, like really pissed. That doesn't happen to me. So when that happened, I was like, I can't believe I just blew that takedown like a rookie. I tried to hit like a step behind, trapped the leg body lock throw, and I shit the bed with that. It was ugly. And he stepped over. I was like, if I end up in mount, freaking 30 seconds into the fight, I'm gonna be pissed, so pissed. But yeah, I got out.
Yeah, it got out, and that was a pretty dominant performance. By the way, what's going on? Is Weidman now talking during your interview? Because I hear him now.
Oh yeah, the disrespect is real.
It's unbelievable. What's happening? Are there no other rooms at Longo Serra over there, or Sarah? Is it Longo Serra or Sarah Longo? I forget.
It's Longo.
This is Longo Weidman. Yeah, that's right. Law
The
MMA.
the gym right now is booming right now. We had to turn the music down. There's a lot of guys in there rocking and rolling for class right now. So we had to. There's not many rooms open for to do interviews in here. So we're
Okay.
doing pretty good here.
All right. All right. I'll stop complaining.
Join the team. Join the team.
Yes, of course. Of course. How good does it feel though to get back? Like now you don't have to sit on that L anymore and you have the big how good does that feel for your confidence?
It feels good, man. I never believed I got outclassed by anybody in any of my fights. I don't think anybody decisively beat me. So it was never one of those things where I was like, I suck at this or I suck at that. I got to go back to the drawing board and work on these things. So I'm just really, really happy I went out there and I was able to show more of my skill sets, show more of my improvements, and how far I've gotten and come in my career. I try to keep a straight face, and I couldn't do it anymore.
That was really good. That was a good
Not to smile to pretend it was not even happening, but
that was
yeah,
actually
man,
really impressive.
I heard mixed reviews on my performance in terms of all boring, and I heard a lot of good stuff about my striking and mixing it up, and that's what I was really happy about. I didn't get a chance to watch the fight yet. Normally I watch it like the same night, but I've been busy hanging out with all my friends and family that came out. The Funk Bandits were in a big force. They were, and the Funk Bandits were fighting in the crowd. Did you see that?
What? That was your guys?
Yeah, during my post-fight interview, they were fighting. I didn't realize, and then I saw one of my shirts, and then I saw the video, and I was like, "Oh, that was them." And they were getting it in with the Brett Johns fans. They were
No.
Brett Johns fans, like some of their family or close friends were talking shit or something. I heard that someone was throwing the Wales flag in our guy's face, and one of our guys got Spartan kicked in the chest and almost fell over the chair, and then he got up, and then let's just say I heard the Funk Bandits were the Funk team was 2-0 on the night. Just gonna say.
Damn. Oh, okay. So in the end, you guys won despite the Spartan kick.
Yeah, if you watch the video, you'll see a couple of guys getting. It wasn't good. It wasn't pretty. I think they've been watching a little bit too much MMA and UFC with the ground and pound. They got the finish. They got the finish for me.
All right, 2-0 for you guys. Afterwards, you said you wanted Dominick Cruz. Why did you zero in on him?
Well, he's a guy I've been looking up to for a very long time. I think with this fight, he's probably gonna look at it as, there's no real risk for him. It's not like a Cody Garbrandt where he could potentially get knocked out or a submission specialist. I guess he doesn't think he will get submitted because of his grappling. So I think in his mind, he might be thinking, "Oh, this is a safer fight. I can take this fight, stay in the mix, beat another guy who's in the top 10, and solidify why I should be the next guy to get the next shot, even over the winners of Rivera and Moraes." Did I say that right? Yeah, Rivera and Moraes. So I think I can lure him in that way. And he's the only one who doesn't have a fight. Everyone else is all booked up, If I can do the best Nick Diaz impersonation, how's it go? I don't think Dominick Cruz is hurt. I think he's running scared. Where you at, Cruz?
So it's actually interesting that you think your performance will somewhat con him into taking the fight, like thinking that you are an easier opponent than you really are.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I know what I bring to the table. I know preparing for him is a different style. He's not a grappler like Brett Johns. I had to respect the grappling game where I couldn't just rush into takedowns. I knew he had more tricks than the typical grappler. I know Brett's willing to take those chances in those high risk situations. He tried to set up that rolling calf slicer again. I'm like, dude, there's no way how you're gonna hit that on me. I'm just not silly enough to sit there and just watch you work. I'm gonna counter your counter, So I think Cruz would be more willing to oblige in a fight with me over a Garbrandt, where Garbrandt's now getting the next title shot. A Sunsouth's fighting Rob Font. Who else is there? Rivera's fighting Marlon Moraes.
Yep.
And I think that's it, man. So what are you going to do? You're going to sit behind the desk for the next 6 months? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Not even 6 months. It's going to be like maybe a year for him because they fight in July and then they're not going to fight again until. Yeah, they're fighting in August. It's even worse. So they might not fight again for the rest of the year, if not maybe December. And then after that, what are you going to wait until 2019? I think the time is right, man. Like I said, it's time for the idols to become your rivals. I think I'm ready for this challenge. I haven't beat a top 5 guy yet. I think this is the perfect opportunity for me to finally put one of those feathers in my cap.
I love it. I love that idea. I think it makes a lot of sense, and you lay it out pretty well. By the way, just curious because the last time we talked to you, you had mentioned that you were a little disappointed no one checked on you when you were at the hospital. Did you ever hear from anyone after that? Did anyone ever say to you, "Sorry for not checking in. Hope you're doing okay"? Anything like that?
No, nobody did. But somebody actually called me from the commission. Andy Foster called me from California Commission. He's a really good dude. I fought there twice now, and he's a really cool dude, man. Seems like it was like a real sincere thing, and I appreciated that for sure. I told him I definitely appreciate him reaching out. Outside of that, it's business as usual. I get it. Like I said, I wasn't butthurt about them. I don't think they should be calling every single fight that gets knocked out. But at the end of the day, I think my situation just looked a little bit different. It really did look like I died, and they took the cameras off of me. They didn't give any updates, so it was kind of like, I don't know. It just looked bad.
Yeah.
For the appearance of everything. Outside of that, it's like it is what it is. I know they don't call everybody like, hey, I'm sorry for you getting knocked the fuck out, on national TV.
Although,
this,
yeah, and not to belabor the point, but how many guys get brutally knocked out every card? It's probably not the hardest thing to do to call, one or two a card if that's the case.
Yeah, you have a point. You do have a point.
By the way, what are you repping over there? What do you got? What do you? I see the P on that little jug and your shirt. What are you representing?
This is my Pure Spectrum CBD. I made sure right after the fight I took that, my CBD oils, post-fight stuff. So like brain health, keeping everything intact. So you slow down. Because our body has like these cannabinoid receptors. So that's what CBD is, and it just make sure you take care of your body. Hey, thank you, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Actually look good.
Thank you. And P3, my pre-workout, man. This is what gets me through the day, and this is what got me through my training camp, baby. HPN, High Performance Nutrition.
Yes, I like it. All right.
These companies that stuck behind me, even when I got knocked out, even when I lost, the split decision to Sunsao and Caraway, these guys were still there rocking with me. So I appreciate guys like that, man. Sponsors like these go a long way. It's not like these guys are just doing it for the clicks and things like that. It's nice to feel like you're a part of a team and people are really there behind you. So outside of the guys that I train with day in and day out, so these are my guys, man. They hook me up with my 15%, and these guys hook me up with my 20% discounts on stuff and making sure my body is right. Come fight time.
That is great. Good to see some companies still supporting the fighters, even though they don't get the love. Yes.
Did you see my vlogs behind the scenes?
Yes, you did a great job. You did a great job with those. Kudos to you, my man. Kudos.
I'm working on the other one. We were so in the moment with Marab's warm-up, beating the crap out of one of our training partners in the back room, James Gonzalez. And we felt so bad because we knew it was going to happen that we didn't record any of the stuff behind the scenes of the pre-fight warm-up. But I got a lot of good footage from that from Friday and Saturday morning that I'm going to put together also for people to take a look at. So I'm trying to give the fans a more inside look of things that really go on in a fighter's life leading up to the fight, the emotions, everything, man. It's not as easy as just waking up, say, hey, you know what, stretch out a couple times. Let's go get into a fist fight. It's not, I wish that's all that went into it, but it's a lot more emotionally involved, and there's a lot more things that go behind into this that people don't really get to see. And I've been getting a lot of good feedback about it. I'm glad you got to check it out.
No, I did. I meant to shout you out. They were very well done, and the production value was top notch as well. So kudos to you and your production team for putting that together. Great stuff, Aljo. I'm sorry for holding out on you. I'm sorry for leaving you out in the cold, but I'm happy that we were able to rectify it, and I appreciate you calling me out because I deserve to be called out. And I'm happy to hear that you're doing well and that you got back on track. I appreciate it, my man. Thank you.
Are you who do you think I should fight next?
I like Dominick Cruz. That's the one.
All right.
That's the one.
And also, what do you think about Marab?
Oh, well, we're going to talk to Marab in around an hour, and also Mark Goddard. So I'm going to reserve judgment until I speak to them. Is that fair?
That's fair. But I will say this. I noticed John McCarthy put out a lot of stuff that made no sense, and he has a big cult following that's not cool. When you say stuff like that and people think your word is religion and they buy into every piece of thing that you say, you got to be very selective of your word choice. And I think that the tweets he put out was very poor and not. I think it was not classy of him to say some of those things because he had no idea what he was talking about. I don't think there's any way you could judge a fight like that. And one, you're no longer a judge. So you're no longer a judge. You're no longer a referee. Whatever it was, you're a commentator now. So at this point, you need to remove yourself from that and stop making it. You're going to live in your spotlight of being a referee, then be a referee. But at that point in time, you made a choice to be a color commentator, and the stuff you said, it had no bearings on what actually happened and transpired in the fight. If you watch the replay, you can see that the guy's eyes were open. He shot in, he hurt his neck, and like Sean O'Malley did, he hurt his foot in the fight. He was hopping on one leg. His opponent decided to shoot in on him and take him down, kept him in the fight. If he couldn't stand up, the ref would have waved the fight off. Merab couldn't move his arm because of the stinging he had in his neck when he shot in. And he let him know, like, I'm moving my legs to keep myself in this fight because I know I'm winning. I know there's only less than a minute on the clock. If I survive, I win this fight. So for you to take that from a guy who put it all on the line, killing this guy for 2 rounds, beating the piss out of him from pillar to pillar in there, and then to take it away and say, because the guy got up and pointed and said, look, he's out. He's still moving his leg as he's saying, look, he's out. And he's looking at the guy. And as soon as he says that, Merab turns to the ref. He turns to the ref. He says, no, I'm okay.
Yep.
No, I'm okay. This is like idiot proof. I don't know how you could fuck this up. And excuse my language, because I guarantee the refs and the commissioners probably might take a look at this. But dude, you guys got to do the right thing. You guys got to do the right thing. I've seen a girl get choked unconscious on TV, unconscious, where the ref and the doctors had to come in and wake her up. She won the fight. She won the fight while she was choked out unconscious during the fight and out of the fight and could not move. Merab answered the bell. He won the fight. That's just complete bullshit. It's just unfortunate, man. That guy puts his heart and soul into this, and to see him get robbed again for the second time in a row that's not right. They got to do the right thing.
Respect you, Aljo. I appreciate that very much. No, I appreciate that. And once I hear from them, I'm going to weigh in, but I tend to side with you. Thanks for coming on. And again, congrats, Aljo. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ariel.